guys, it's Charles again. Thanks for coming back to our educational series on how to invest in real estate. This week we got a very excited topic, which is garden suites. But before we get into what it is, let's talk about some of the background. What's happening right now in Ontario and the city is that the zoning requirements are restricting the number of dwelling units on a given lot. By limiting the number of units on a single lot, municipalities are reaching to density restrictions. With the latest legislation and affordable housing efforts, some cities are becoming to recognize the need for more flexible zoning requirements to meet the increasing housing demand. They accomplish this by relaxing density restrictions and rethinking how we can use existing land so we can increase the housing options. Since 2015, we've seen legalization of second suites, mainly in the form of basement suite. This is something we talked about here, and if you go to this video, you can learn all about the second suites edition. Today, we take in one step further and focus on adding a third detached unit on the existing 2-unit homes, or a secondary detached unit on otherwise a single-family home. In 2019, Ontario passed Bill 108, the More Home, More Choice Act, which mandates that every city in Ontario to have policy in place to allow garden suites in addition to the second suites. Right? You can click here more to read about the Bill 108. So basically, what it is that there are many names. Some people call it tiny house, garden suites, ADUs, coach house, granny suites, laneway house, etc. But basically, it's a housing unit in your backyard that provides independent living with its own kitchen, washroom, living area, and a separate entrance. So look at here, this is what we're talking about here. Detached ADUs. So you're gonna have another detached house in your backyard. It's not connected to your principal residence, right? We are not talking about trailer house on wheels, right? These are actual house that gets attached to the foundation permanently that you can build in your backyard, right? Great opportunity for homeowners and small investors to experience new build, but not have to pay for developmental cost. So this is huge. Let's get into the pros. So one of the biggest pros from an investor point of view is that potentially if you convert a single family, you added a second suite, and in your backyard you built another garden unit, right? Potentially your gross rent will be somewhere around $5,500 on a single piece of lot. This is huge and it's big money. Better use of existing utilities, city utilities, so gas, sewers, water, electricity, right? We're pulling off of existing city utilities. So it is, making everything more efficient. Additional rent income helper, right? It's an affordable housing, sees to renters' needs and uses existing housing stock more efficiently. Provide starter home for child or elderly family member who needs assistance. So this is 2-generational homes. In Japan, this already exists, right? More and more, the developers are looking into how do we build on a single piece of lot house that you can accommodate 2 generations. It's a big deal since it's built on free land, right? You don't have to sever a land. You don't have to buy a piece of raw land. You are building on existing land with the primary structure in place, right? And typical land cost is 20 to 50% of the value, so you're getting that for free. And then it is by right, right? So most likely there's not going to be any major developmental fees, zoning amendment, or minor variance if you buy the right lot. And great if you have a single family home that otherwise you can't add a second suite to. Maybe you don't have the basement height or the parking requirements, but now you are able to build a home in the back. Window of opportunity now exists where the market have not priced in the value yet, right? So mainstream, people don't know unless you're in the investment world. This is very, very new. So the mainstream market, they're not pricing in this opportunity yet. So we are very early. some of the cons, right? The requirements are slowly being solidified city by city, but each city is different. And these include the zoning. You have to know if your property is situated in the right zoning so you can add this garden suite, right? Minimum lot size, maximum unit size that you can build, what's the height requirement, right? Parking, do you need a parking per each unit, right? So if you have 3 units, then you need to have 3, and can it be side by side or can it be a tandem, right? Connection of utilities, right? How are you going to connect the utility? Is it going to be directly from the city to your garden unit, or you have to go through the primary residence, then like a sub-meter to the garden unit, right? These are things that are slowly being solidified, but you have to make sure, depending on the city you are, understand exactly what they are so you don't make the big mistake. Rental demand and the price is still unknown, right? Although, you know, the rental market is going crazy and there's basically no vacancy, but just because there's not much out there for garden units, I would say the price and the demand is still unknown. The bank financing is still not determined yet, right? So how much can you refinance this for? Can you even finance at a building stage? That's something that is in the talk. And you can't just sell the garden unit on its own, right? So it's not like the garden unit sits on its own lot. This is still you know, built on the primary existing lot. So if you were to sell, you have to sell the primary home and the garden unit all together. So conclusion, no doubt this will be the highest and best use strategy for small investor in the next 10 years. I'm so excited to see this come around, and I think this is one of those, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity that's coming. Now is the time to land grab these properties before a market takes into account its value, right? Even if you don't have the money to build, I would say try to get something where the land makes sense, maybe an extra deep or a corner lot, right? And if you are already sitting on a potential lot, make sure you begin discussion with the city or hire a BCIN designer to unlock its potential, right? This is huge. If you're in Hamilton like me and you're investing in Hamilton, check out the city of Hamilton. They've recently just passed the bylaw, so this is a website, you can go to it, and there is many discussions, and you can see the new zoning amendments there. Okay, so if you guys liked this discussion, make sure to go to my website at charlie.com, download your free copy of Deal Analyzer, and thanks as always, and if you can subscribe, that would be great. Thank you very much. Bye for now.